Hello everyone. This is the video for class 10 students about the chapter coordinate geometry. So already in your ninth class we were having the idea about a point, how to locate the point in the Cartesian plane with the reference of x-axis and y-axis that you know. Here we are going to know about more regarding coordinate geometry chapter. Here only you can see what is the x coordinate and y coordinate. This is called x coordinate and this one is called y coordinate. This is also called abscissa and this is called ordinate. These are the basics of coordinate geometry. So where we can see the points on a plane located by a pair of numbers called coordinates. Coordinates are nothing but points which are located by a pair of numbers, and here these two are important points you are supposed to remember. The distance of a point from y-axis is known as abscissa or x-coordinate, and in the same way the distance of a point from x-axis is called ordinate or y-coordinate. So based on these two we can expect one mark bit in MCQs or fill in the blanks. You can expect 1 mark bit. Here we can see that, see some point x comma y is there. So in at what units distance it lies from the x-axis. So from the x-axis it lies at y units distance. Okay, at what units distance this lies from the y-axis? It lies at x units distance from the y-axis. For example, some point 2 comma 3 is there, 2 comma 3. So at how many units distance that 2 comma 3 lies from the x-axis? That lies at a 3 units distance from x-axis, the point 2 comma 3, and from 2 units distance from y-axis. So like that you are supposed to remember. And here we can see distance formula. The distance between any two points x1 y1 and x2 y2, it is given by d is equal to square root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square, and where d is the distance between the points x1 y1 and x2 y2. And here you can also write this as x1 minus x2 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square, no problem at all. And based on this only we are having exercise 7.2. So there we can see the properties of 4 quadrilaterals. So there, that one you are supposed to remember carefully, how to verify a particular quadrilateral square, a parallelogram, rectangle, a rhombus. So briefly I'll tell those properties once. If you want to verify any quadrilateral is a square, there you will get all the sides are equal to each other, diagonals also equal to each other, so that you can write that that is a square. And coming to the rhombus, if all the sides are going to be equal to each other and diagonals are not going to be equal to each other, then we can say that particular quadrilateral is rhombus. And coming to the parallelogram, if opposite sides are going to be equal to each other and diagonals are not going to be equal to each other, then we can call that as parallelogram. Coming to rectangle, if opposite sides are going to be equal to each other, diagonals are also going to be equal to each other, then we can say that particular one is rectangle. So here we can see two examples. This is first example. Here they are giving some 4 points. You are supposed to verify whether it is a square, a rectangle, or rhombus, or parallel. If at all it is not satisfying any of those 4 properties, just like it's simply a general quadrilateral. Here you can see 4 sides A, B, B, C, C, D, A. All are equal to each other. And here also you can see the diagonals. These diagonals are equal to each other. All 4 sides are equal to each other and diagonals also equal to each other. So it is a square. You can call it is a square. And in the next example you can see Here 4 points I'm giving. Here you can see any of the side is not equal to any of the other side. So we can simply decide it's a general quadrant and not like square or rectangle. And here I am giving one more problem to you. You can verify this whether it is a square or rectangle or parallelogram. Yeah, this is completely this distance formula about exercise 7.1. And coming to this one, section formula, which is very useful to solve most all the problems in exercise 7.2. So what is this section formula? The section formula describes about a point which is dividing the line segment joining the points x1 y1 and x2 y2 internally in the ratio m1 is to m2. If you know the line end points of the line segments and the ratio, so that you can find the coordinates of the point. So this is the formula m1 x2 plus m2 x1 by m1 plus m2. Similarly, that is x coordinate comma m1 y2 plus m2 y1 by m1 plus m. This is the section formula. We will see one problem based on this. This is the formula. This is the problem based on that. So here we are supposed to find some known point x1 y1, which is dividing the line segment in the ratio 2:3, and these two are the end points of the line segment -3, 3 and 12, -7. While finding that, you substitute the values of m1, m2, x1, x2 carefully, and this is the coordinate of x. So substitute carefully, do the calculation so that you'll find the coordinate of x. Similarly, y coordinate also you can find by substituting here m1 y2 plus m2 y2, m2 y1 by m1 plus m2. After finding the x coordinate and y coordinate, just write those two in one order by, so that is the coordinates of the point P, which is dividing this line segment in 2:3 ratio internally. Yeah. And also there we can see some problems like in what ratio x-axis is dividing the line segment, in what ratio y-axis is dividing the line segment in exercise 7.2. That also you are supposed to focus on that type of problems, practice more times. And coming to this one, midpoint formula. So the midpoint formula describes the midpoint of the line segment joining the points x1 y1 and x2 y2. Here I am taking some 5, 4 minus 2, 1. Actually the formula is x1 plus x2 by 2 and y1 plus y2 by 2. So while finding the midpoint of 5, 4 and minus 2, 1, this one you take as x1 y1, this one x2 y2, or else this one x1 y1 and this one x2 y2, x1 y2, x2 y2 you can take and substitute in the formula so that you'll get the midpoint of the line segment. So this one, midpoint form. Yeah, clear. And coming to the last exercise, that is based on the area of the triangle formula. Here we are finding, actually here we are finding in this problem, we are finding area of the quadrilateral. Even by using of the area of triangle formula, this also we can do that. So while they gave the area of the quadrilateral to find, you draw one diagram so that it is going to divide into two triangles, this triangle and this triangle. Find the area of the triangle separately, and finally you add both the areas so that you will get area of the quadrilateral. So here already we were discussing about area of triangle formula, how to remember also I told you already. So here is the area of the triangle formula, half into x1 y2 minus y3 plus x2 into y3 minus y1 plus x3 into y1 minus y2. Practice more times and substitute the values so that you will get accurate answer in very less amount of time. So here I am taking this one x1 y1, x2 y2, x3 y3. There is no rule like this one only x1 y1, this one only x2 y2. According to your convenient, anything you can take as x1 y1. No problem at all. Here based on that I took the coordinates of the points. After substituting the formula, I am getting area of triangle ABC. Similarly, you substitute A, C, D points also in area of the triangle formula, so that you will get area of triangle ACD also. Add both the areas so that you will get area of total quadrilateral ABCD. Okay, go through this all PPTs and classwork. Okay. Do well. Thank you.